Hey guys, welcome back to another episode of 1 Minute Breakdowns, where we break down each and every fight card, each and every fight. We try to do it in under a minute, uh, usually a minute, minute 30. You got to give us some slack. But as always, if you haven't already, please like, comment, and subscribe on the video. If you have any comments regarding any fights, different takes, predictions, leave them in the comments. I'm going to be going over the comment section as I go through the fights. And let's just say we'll get this thing started. First of all, let's shout out the chat. We have Finn in the chat. What's up, my brother? Yes, sir. Let's get this money. And we got Lou. When you're done with breakdowns, please give me your Bosnian. Oh, I got you. Russian table tennis too. I got you with that. If you want some CS:GO locks, some Counter Strike, oh, I got you. Esports, regular sports, whatever you want. But with the first fight, the curtain jerker, as they like to call it, we have Tamiris Vidal going up against Haley Cohen. Here's the thing. Haley Cohen didn't really impress me on the Dana White Contender Series. Then she had to pull out of her UFC debut earlier this month after like a last minute injury. I think it was like an ovarian cyst rupture from what I was reading. Um, man, Tamiris Vidal is a finisher. I like her resume better than Cohen's a little bit more. Give me the dog money on Tamiris Vidal right now that the line is flipped. If you got the early line on Cohen at plus 200, you did your job. Plus 200, plus 150, you did your job. I think Haley Cohen does win, but I feel like there's more opportunity for Vidal to get a finish here just based on how Cohen looked in the Contender Series. I don't know. Cohen, I don't know. This fight's done. On to the next one. Next up, we have Victor Altamirano going up against Vinicius Salvador. So this fight, along with the next fight, it's going to be a similar breakdown where it's pretty binary for me. I think in round one, Vinicius Salvador is very live to get a finish. Very powerful striker, and Victor Altamirano does get hit quite a bit. But I do think that Victor Altamirano he would be able to get out of that first round, face a little bit of adversity, and then outbox Vinicius Salvador to a decision. So for me, it's like if it doesn't end in round one, I think it's Victor Altamirano all day. But round one potential finish for Vinicius Salvador for me. But no bet on this fight. Too volatile of a matchup for me. For the third fight of the evening, we have Manuel Torres going up against Trey Ogden. And yeah, as I mentioned, similar breakdown to the last fight for me. I think Manuel Torres is a very solid striker, very solid in power. I don't know if he's going to be able to get it done against someone like Ogden. I know Ogden did lose that striking battle to Jordan Levitt, which is a horrible look. But I think Manuel Torres, in a similar fashion as Vinicius Salvador, it's round one or bust. Manuel Torres has only seen the second round once in his 13 professional fights. So I think this fight is going to be either round one Manuel Torres or Trey Ogden decision for me, maybe even a submission, as Manuel Torres has lost by submission before in his losses. So I think this fight is probably going to be a boring one, to be honest with you, because I do think it drags out all the way until the third round. You see that Trey Ogden is a little bit lower volume, but he does end up taking over the fight as the fight goes on. So give me Trey Ogden as a prediction, but not confident at all here. And I don't want my money anywhere near this either. Next up, we have a nice fight. We have CJ Vergara going up against Daniel Da Silva. We all know Daniel Da Silva as the I was going to say 1 minute, but let's give him 3 minutes of cardio before he completely gasses out and is a corpse. Legit, you guys need to watch this guy's tape. And, oh, man. This guy, Daniel Da Silva or Daniel Lacerda, whichever one you guys want to call it, because different websites have it different last names. I'm going to say Lacerda. Daniel Lacerda is very live for a finish early on in the first round. Once he empties out the gas tank, it's over for him. We've seen it time and time again. He just gives up. And CJ Vergara is someone who has an unlimited gas tank. And I think Vergara is going to be wrestling from the jump. and he's going to be testing that cardio of Lacerda to see if it's improved. Um, I think Vergara runs away with this one, probably inside the distance. I want to say round two, after all the cardio sucked out of Lacerda, and he gets either a ground and pound or a submission victory here. Before I get into the next fight, I'm actually gonna check out the chat here. What we got going on? Fight ending in sub. Tamir's 550 sub. I like the Tamir's 550 sub. Um, I feel like that's probably the only way I would play this fight, just due to the sheer fact that I don't want to be involved on either of the money lines at the moment. Ogden does stink, but Manuela Loco Torres has 1 round of cardio. Fight talk only. What's up, my brother? Thank you for watching. I appreciate you joining. And last but not least, who has better cardio, De Silva or Mr. Finland? You know what? I gotta give the edge to Mr. Finland because he can grapple efficiently for 1 whole round versus De Silva. He only has like 3 minutes of cardio tops. So give me Mr. Finland. That would be a fun matchup if they ever somehow decide to agree to meet in the middle in terms of weight. Let's go ahead and move on. Next fight, we have Trevin Giles going up against Preston Parsons. Um, Here's the thing for me. I think Preston Parsons has the advantage everywhere this fight goes. Whether it's in the grappling department, he lands just over 3 takedowns per 15 minutes. And yeah, people can say that Trevin Giles has a good takedown defense, but he's been going up against guys who do not have takedown offense, shooting takedowns on him, going 0 for 6. It's the only reason why his takedown defense is at 70%. Excuse me. And then Preston Parsons on the feet, he can hold his own. He has some pretty decent power, pretty high upside when it comes to like a club and sub. I think he's a type of a bruiser that has that sneaky power to put you down and then probably catch submission. So I'm very interested in the Parsons sub line, but I think he gets it done via decision personally. At the -110 money line, I don't know why he's not a bigger favorite in this fight. Give me Preston Parsons. I will have a bet on him on this card. Johnny Parsons is greater than Preston. Oh, stop it, Lou. Next up, we have Steven Peterson going up against Lucas Alexander. And I just want to know why Steven Peterson has a Superman logo tatted on his chest. That's just like the biggest question. And why his nickname is Ocho. How do you just nickname yourself Ocho? Like, whoa, that's the one question that I would love to answer, like to get the answer for. Steven Ocho Peterson. If anyone knows why, please let me know because it's been bugging me all week. But moving on, we have this fight. I think Steven Peterson's last fight against Julian Erosa was very impressive. He was able to keep up with him in the striking, and Julian Erosa is no scrub on the feet. He kept up with him in the volume, and it was a very greasy split decision. I know a lot of the Erosa bettors were shitting bricks when that decision was being read out, and he almost put Erosa out. He was laying it on him in that fight. So I think in this fight, I smell a little bit of fraud vibes from Lucas Alexander. He doesn't really have that much of a well-rounded game. On the feet, I think Peterson is just gonna smoke him. And as the fight goes on, I think Lucas Alexander is the type of fighter that tends to gas. So I'd be surprised to see how he looks towards the end of that second round. But for me, Steven Peterson is gonna be the way to go. Am I playing him? Am I betting him? Hell fucking no. But yeah, Steven Ocho Peterson. And apparently, well, this is probably a meme, but yeah, he's had sex with 8 women. That's why it's Ocho. If that's valid, then by all means, great nickname. Next up, we have Daniel Pineda going up against Tucker Lutz. Whatever you guys do, please, 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 please do not put Tucker Lutz in any of your parlays. This guy has shown nothing to give you confidence in him as a -280 to 300 favorite. What has he done in the UFC besides win a couple of decisions? Yeah, I know on the regional scene that he was known to be a finisher. He was finishing a bunch of his fights on the regional scene. UFC been a decisionator. His last fight, horrible fight IQ, trying to go for takedowns against Pat Sabatini, got punished there. And then you look at the guy like Daniel Pineda, also has pretty much zero decision equity for the most part. He tries to swing heavy leather and try to get you out of there, which is why he's had 3 draws in his last 5. Somehow these fights tend to either get yank shots, shout out to Lou there, or point deductions due to illegal strikes, whether it's the eye poke or anything else. I think this is the Yambek fight of the week for me. So Lou, you already have my input there. I think Lutz will probably win a decision here. Pineda is old. He has a 90-year age gap between the two fighters. Yeah, I think Lutz he's supposed to win. I'm nowhere, never am I ever laying a price like minus 280 on Tucker Lutz. Like, what has he shown me? Nothing. I would rather do a lot of things. Go outside for a smoke break. You know. Next up, we have Chidi and Njokuani going up against Albert Duraev. This fight can play out 2 ways. Either Chidi Njokuani finishes Albert Duraev in the first round via knockout, or after that first round, Chidi gasses out and Duraev ends up winning via ground and pound or by submission. Now, a lot of people are on the under 1.5 in this fight. I feel like that's a little bit greasy because I think this fight could extend if it gets out of that first round. I think it probably goes to the third. So I'm going to have to lay off of the total. I like Chidi in this spot. I think he has the better striking. He's way more powerful. And Duraev has spent 75% of his UFC career on the feet instead of wrestling because he tends to gas out himself too. Poor durability, poor striking defense. All of that leans towards Chidi Bang. So Chidi by knockout in round 1 is my prediction. Oops, that went back twice. There we go. Next up, we have Alex Perez going up against Manel Kape. Now, what is the line for Alex Perez to weigh in this Friday? Because this guy just cannot seem to step in the cage. It's been so long since we've seen Alex Perez in the cage. Pulled out of a bunch of fights. If we want to be specific, let's go ahead and look at the history here. Oh my goodness, look at this. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 canceled bouts since 2021. 8. His last fight was in 2022, just under a year ago. Lost to Pantoja. Pantoja handled him in that first round. But let's get back to this matchup. If Alex Perez finds success in in making weight and showing up on Saturday, I think he's going to get knocked out. Manel Kape is a serious striker, serious power. We've seen him finally let his hands go in the last fight against Dvorak. Sneaky submission skills that he showed in his last fight as well. I think Kape inside the distance is probably my favorite bet all week. And this card, I'll probably have only like 2 or 3 bets at most, probably 2. But Manel Kape inside the distance is my favorite bet of the week. I think he gets it done in the first or second round. Alex Perez is not someone known for his durability, and this guy struggles to make weight. And when he does, he just doesn't look all that impressive, or at least he hasn't in his past couple fights. So give me Manel Kape decisively inside the distance. Next up, we have Andrea Lee going up against Macy Barber. In this fight, I predict Macy Barber to win whichever way she wants, to be honest. I think she's going to be able to take Andrea Lee down and handle her on the ground with the ground and pound. Since Macy Barber had those 2 losses back to back, she's shown a lot of maturity in the way she fights. And Andrea Lee in that last fight, she got absolutely mollywopped on the feet. She has 0 striking defense, and then once she's hurt, she accepts bottom position like no other, and she doesn't try to get back up. So that's a recipe for disaster going up against Macy Barber, who tries to hurt you, takes you down, and tries to win the round via the control time. so it plays right into her game. I think Macy Barber is one of the safer parlay pieces on this card. Yeah, I don't see a world where Andrea Lee wins this fight. So give me Macy Barber inside the distance. Next up, we have Nate Landwehr going up against Austin Lingo, and I'm gonna use a phrase that I used earlier for one of the other fights. And Nate Landwehr, sure, great underdog, but what has he proven to show that he deserves a minus 250 to 290 price tag? What has he shown? I don't see the I'm just not comfortable with price on Nate Landwehr. Yeah, he has the pressure, he has the cardio, he has the undeniable will to continue and fight on, and he'll fight for your money. But when you're talking about minus 290, you want to be very confident in the pick. You don't want to parlay up someone with a bigger unit size and risk on someone who hasn't really been in this position. He's a better uh, nail than he's a hammer. Austin Lingo is scrappy. I feel like they have really similar games, but Austin Lingo is probably the better boxer here. Uh, as Finn said, parlaying Nate should be a crime. That is 100% true. Let me pull this up, and I'll go through the comments after this fight. But this is, yeah, the sirens are ringing. If you're parlaying Nate, I'm sorry. I don't know what you're seeing. I'm not saying play Austin Lingo, but I'm also not saying to parlay Nate. It's tough. It's tough. I think Nate wins the fight, but I think it's going to be a split decision. Very close fight. Let's go ahead and check out the chat. Listen, Lou, I wanted to give you my pick for the for the big pick. I had to, and I'm glad you agree though. I'm glad you agree that it's Tucker Lutz fight. Yes, sir. Chitty chitty bang. You gotta bet him around 1 KO. 3 of 18 takedowns. Yeah, and great point. 3 of 18 takedowns in the last two fights, and the one similarity I can draw between his first fight with Kopylov and this fight, it's against the taller dude. It's a little bit harder to take down the taller guys just because they have that extra length to post up on their hands. So it's going to be a little bit more tough on Duraev to get these takedowns. And with that failed takedown attempts, there comes the gas tank worry. Perez canceled. Yeah, damn, the lime got steamed. Minus 1400. He's plus 500 to show up. Who has a better topology picture, Duraev or Mr. Finland? No one has a better topology picture than Mr. Finland, but I'm curious to see what Duraev's is. I haven't seen that. Oh my fucking god. Oh my god, this is close. This one is close. Dude, that Mercedes too? This guy is fresh. What do you guys think? What's the better topology picture in this one? I still gotta give it to Mr. Finland. That Mr. Finland has a baller type picture. Let's see, hundreds and fifties. Hey, hey, hey! Cop finally used to fighting without boots. It was a bit. Dude, he barely even threw strikes until that last one. So I'm like, fucking finally. Lee split decision by Texas robbery, 1200. I mean, I don't mind that. Plus 1200 shots. I mean, it doesn't take too many of them to hit for you to profit on them long term. Yeah, we went over that one. Sub prop plus 900 for Nate. Yeah, I think that's worth a poke for Nate. Plus 900 for the sub prop. Can't say. I don't blame you for that either. Half a unit, I could justify it. Definitely risky. Yeah. All right, let's go ahead and move on to the co-main event of the evening. We have Holly Holm going up against Yana Santos, formerly known as Yana Kunitskaya, but she got married to Thiago Santos. Holly Holm just signed a 6-fight deal with the UFC, which is very interesting to me. I'm about to pull out the narrative talk right now. I think Holly Holm wins this fight. as long as she is breathing. She's on 2 feet, healthy, with her 2 arms working correctly. I don't see a world where Yana Santos wins this fight. I think Holly Holm is just gonna out like vet savvy her, clinch game against the cage, and punch her in the rib like 100 times and win the fight. Just literally based on that. I know Holly Holm is 41, huge age discrepancy here, but Yana Santos is just horrible. She's really bad. The only reason the line is not wider is because Holly Holm is 41, but she looks to be in tremendous shape. Look at her Instagram. She is in phenomenal shape for this fight, and just skill for skill, it's Holly Holm all day. So give me Holly. I'm still not parlaying her though. No, I'm not saying parlay at all. This is a stay away. Last but not least, we have the main event of the evening. We have Cheeto Vera going up against Corey Sandhagen. So this fight is obviously my favorite on the card. It's the most high level one, but I think Cheeto's only chance is to win via knockout. I don't think he has any decision equity in this fight. Sandhagen throws a million strikes a minute. In 5 rounders, he's gone over the 120 significant strike uh, number as long as it went all 5 rounds. And I think Corey's going to be able to tee off on Cheeto Vera, who has it's underwhelming striking defense. We saw against Dominic Cruz. I mean, he got lucky with that knockout because he was losing those 3 rounds up until that fourth where he got the knockout. And you could check out the judges' scorecards if you want to confirm that. But yeah, if he didn't get that knockout, he would have lost on the cards. And yeah, Cheeto is known to be lower volume. He's known to try and pull it out of the bag. Corey Sandhagen is very durable. I think Corey Sandhagen has uh, finish potential himself. I think he could win this fight via sub, and I think he has all of the decision equity. So for all of those reasons, at plus 155, I had to pull the sorry at minus 155. I had to pull the trigger on Corey Sandhagen. More methods to victory, and I can trust him more when it comes to volume. With a fight like this, predicting that it's shaded, the juice is on the over 4.5. So if it's shading that it's going all 5 rounds, I think I would rather be holding a Corey Sandhagen ticket than a Cheeto Vera ticket. I know a lot of people trying to enter in on the Cheeto Vera side live after the first 2 rounds. That is not a bad look at all. But yeah, that's the card, ladies and gentlemen. Let's check out the chat before we get out of here. Let's see. Crazy, the best parlay might be Holly and Barber. I mean, I don't know about Holly in there, but definitely Macy. I'll give it out. Something I'm looking at is Macy and Cop money line. That's what I'm personally looking at, or Macy and Vergara. We'll see though. I haven't decided. You think Holly has a chance for a weird TKO stoppage, considering Santos gave birth and Holly seems to be in mega shape? I don't see it happening just because Holly was never known for that big power, so to say. But given that she just gave birth, you never know. Weird things do happen. So it's a possibility if the number is good enough. I think so. If you could do a sneaky play on the same game parlay. Oh yeah. Mm-hmm. I think that's the right way to play it. I wish I had DraftKings. I would have done that all day. Yeah, the Corey Sandhagen Cheeto fight's gonna be ridiculous. Cheeto sub? I could see it. I could see it. Corey likes to give up his back. If he gets taken down, he does give up his back quite a bit. I forgot about Cop. I'd say him instead of Holly for sure. Yeah, definitely him instead of Holly, or Vergara instead of both of them, because I would rather just have exposure to Cop in the inside the distance bet. Home money line and one takedown is plus 210 for those who are wondering. Thank you, Lou. I appreciate you. Well, ladies and gentlemen, that's the card. Hopefully, you guys enjoyed the breakdowns. We got it done. It's been 25 minutes, but we Took some breaks in between to talk to the chat, check out these comments. If you haven't already, please like, comment, subscribe on the video. Means a lot. I will catch you guys next week. Or actually, no, we don't have a card next week. But I might do a sneaky PFL 1 1 minute breakdown because I will be covering media at PFL 1. If you guys are in Vegas April 1st, let me know. Hit me up. I would love to meet up with you guys. But until then, peace.